I'm Daniel Berlant in the Cal Fire Information Center with the fire situation report for Friday, September 11th, 2020. As weather conditions continue to improve, firefighters are gaining ground on a number of wildfires, many of which have now been burning for over a month. Today, there are nearly 15,000 firefighters who remain on the front line of 28 major wildfires. Now, although there were 24 new fires that we responded to yesterday, most of those crews have been able to quickly contain. Looking at our statewide fire map, let's go through some of the larger incidents. First, we'll start up in Butte and Plumas counties. This is the North Complex. It started on the Plumas National Forest, burned down into Butte County, a number of the communities around Lake Oroville, causing a significant amount of destruction and even deaths. In fact, sadly, on this fire, there are at least 2,000 structures that were damaged or destroyed. And at this point, at least 10 people have been confirmed to have died in this just fast-moving fire. The North Complex right now is just over 252,000 acres. There was a little bit of growth yesterday, a little over 5,000 acres, but really with the weather cooperating, firefighters were really able to hold back this fire. Now, there are still a number of evacuations really to the southern edge of this fire, just outside of Oroville. In fact, some of the outside portions of Oroville under evacuation orders as well. And then there are some areas here along Highway 70 on the northern edge of this fire that still are under evacuation orders as well. But again, good progress being made there. I want to head to the west a bit. This is a series of fires burning just to the west of Red Bluff. This is the August Complex. Over 746,000 acres in this August Complex. Now, yesterday, the U.S. Forest Service announced that the Elkhorn fire was going to be merged into the August Complex. So this series of fires now being managed as one, bringing the acreage up significantly. Now, I will say the U.S. Forest Service has really split out the fire. They have an incident management team handling the north edge as well as the southern edge. And CAL FIRE has activated an incident management team in preparation for this fire to burn into CAL FIRE jurisdiction on the western edge. So again, this being the largest fire, not just right now, but really in our state's recorded history. Moving down south, let's go into the Central Valley and specifically up into the foothills outside of Fresno and Madera, where we find the Creek Fire. It has burned just under 176,000 acres. Now, there was no growth over the past 24 hours, so that is good, and containment is up 6%. Still a lot of potential, a lot of evacuations for these foothill communities, Auberry, many of the foothill communities around Bass Lake, but crews making real good progress. This, of course, was a wind-driven fire and a fuel-driven fire, meaning just significant tree mortality across there. But again, good progress being made. I'm going to scroll down now into Southern California. We'll go down into San Bernardino County for the Eldorado Fire, which has been burning just north of Oak Glen, also outside of Yucaipa. This fire, just over 13,000 acres. We did have a little bit of growth, a little over 1,100 acres yesterday, but firefighters doing an amazing job there. Containment up 8%. So that brings our total acreage, our total containment on this fire now to 31%. So good progress being made there. And then down into San Diego County, we'll scroll down here near the community of Alpine. This is the Valley Fire. It has burned just over 17,000 acres. No growth on this fire. That allowed firefighters to increase containment by 7%. And so that means containment now is at 39% on the Valley Fire. So real good progress being made there as well. And then I wanted to just touch on the fires burning around the Bay Area, the LNU Lightning Complex, the SCU Lightning Complex, and the CZU Lightning Complex. No growth in the last 24 hours on any of these fires, but containment is up 1% on each of them. So we'll go through these real quick. The LNU complex holding at just 363,000 acres, a little bit over that, 95% contained. The SCU Lightning Complex, just over 363 acres, it is 95% And then the CZU Lightning Complex in Santa Cruz Mountains, just over 86,000 acres. It is now 85% contained. So again, good progress being made there on a number of fronts. Of course, if you want to get into more detail on some of the other fires, especially those that are burning on federal responsibility area, you can find this map on our website, fire.ca.gov. Now, since the beginning of this year, wildfires have burned over 3.1 million acres in California. And just to give that to you in perspective, that is larger than the entire state of Connecticut. And the total number of acres burned this year to date compared to last year for the same time period, it's 26 times higher this year than in 2019. And our top 20 list, also not significant changes. However, the August complex, now that the Elkhorn fire has been merged with the August complex, it secures its spot in the #1 largest fire complex in our state's history, but it just dwarfs the other 19 fires. So you can see, as of today, there are now 5 of our top 20 largest fires that have burned now here in the year 2020. And the other thing that I want to mention, even though we have 5 fires that are on our top 20 list, 2 fires now have made the deadliest list. First, the LNU Lightning Complex is at the 20th spot, but with the additional fatalities on the North Complex, that moves that fire to the 10th deadliest fire in our state's history. Now, in total, there have been 20 fatalities on these series of fires that have been burning since August 15th. So, you know, a very, very sad and tragic loss for all Californians as firefighters work so hard on a number of these fires to protect life and property, but the fast-moving weather conditions obviously taking the upper hand. Now, let's switch over to our weather and what we can expect for this weekend. You can see here's Saturday's high temperatures, not bad. In fact, we really will see more seasonable temperatures across much of California. In fact, in Northern California, that smoke layer will actually help us maintain some cooler temperatures through the weekend. 92 degrees tomorrow in Sacramento, 95 in Redding, 78 in Tahoe, down in the Central Valley, 94 in Fresno, 78 in LA, 87 in San Diego. So we are actually really going to see an onshore flow next week, meaning the wind will be coming from the ocean, and that will bring an increase in humidity. Increased humidity makes it easier and it aids firefighters in their efforts in containment of fires, but it also should help in preventing the potential ignition of new wildfires. Of course, that relies on you in the public to help us with that as well. But in Southern California, especially in the desert areas, you can see just how dark some of these are. We are going to continue to see dry and warm temperatures. But again, up in the mountains, we're going to see, and even the coastal region, continue to experience, again, that onshore flow, which will help with the temperatures, bringing them back to more normal, and help with the humidity as well. As we move into September and October, don't let these cooler temperatures fool you. Do not let your guard down. Historically, it is September and October when we experience our largest and our most damaging wildfires. So we still need your help in preventing these types of wildfires. For a full list of how you can help, you can visit us at readyforwildfire.org. Now, as we continue to battle wildfires across California, we pause to take a moment to pay tribute to those who responded to the tragic September 11th, 2001 attacks and their acts of bravery. On this Patriot Day, we'll leave you with a brief look of some patriotism captured here in California this week by the Weather Channel on the Creek Fire.
It is coming in this direction.
And there's no way for us to avoid that?
No, there's no way.
It's going to come through
It's going to come through here, yeah.
Cal Fire Captain Josh Potter has 4 daughters back in Riverside, California. His goal is to save his crew, rescue these trapped Labor Day campers, and get back to those girls. But before the fire approached his strike team,
Step on my shoulder. Step on my shoulder.
there was one last piece of business.
That flag means the world to me.
Captain Potter, an ex-Marine who did 3 tours in Iraq, tells us these fights are similar, and the unity this banner represents is more important than ever.
You know, the situation where there's volatility in the world, you know, the flags are standing above the buildings, and, you know, we don't want them to burn.
It's for the country, man. That's it. Paying respects to everybody. Flag's never supposed to burn or be under attack.
Even in the middle of this massive firefight, all this going on around them,
there are some symbolic things that are still important. In Shaver Lake, California, Dave Malkoff, The Weather Channel.